Hi there. So now that you've become a bit more familiar with Scrum Bond, let's talk about something that is relevant to all of us, regardless of the framework or methodology that we subscribe to within our teams. So what is that thing? Let's talk about Scroise. So what? Wait, what? Let's talk about what? What's Scroise? You might be asking. You've never heard of it. Actually, you're quite familiar with it. We all are. Scroise is actually a term that was coined by my peer Judy Rhodes, and it signifies scrum noise. Scrum noise. Many times we experience it, and sometimes we get caught up in how the best way to handle it within our organizations, right? But scrum noise is when teams have negative noise around their work and team dynamics for a variety of reasons, okay? It can be due to imperfect handling of continuous flow and or interrupt work. It can be due to imperfect handling of a transformation. It can be due to imperfect handling of roles and responsibilities within the team and a lot of assumptions about those responsibilities being made. Another reason is it can be due to imperfect handling of sensitivities within a team. Regardless of the reason why it might exist, there's one thing that I think we can all agree on, and that is Scroise negatively disrupts and undermines team cohesiveness. Many times we find the hard data that we've talked about in the other video with metrics, it's empirically relational to the soft experiences of a team. So what do I mean by that? You'll find that our inability to get things done or long cycle and lead times may be because we have issues when it comes to communication or availability. Anything that impacts our ability to deliver. So now that we have a good understanding of what Scroise is, let's talk about what can you do to overcome that hurdle. The first thing that we would suggest is, hey, use your data, use velocity, plan to done, cycle time, and cumulative flow to drive your adjustments. Monitor and adjust your whip limits and cadences. Remember, anything that you do is an experiment. Try it for a little bit of time. You're not married to it. It's not a permanent change. And usually people can tolerate those small changes when they know we're not committing to it long term. Then adjust to improve delivery outcomes and monitor those trends and patterns. Execute Kaizen and put corrective actions in place. But let me beg you to be intentional here. Don't overcommit on your Kaizen items. Pick one thing that the team can form consensus around and put it at the top of your sprint backlog for your next iteration. And let that have a higher credence than the rest of the priority work that's been outlined. It's not saying one is more important than another, but it is saying that it's just as important as everything else that we have to deliver on, right? Because when we work on relentless improvement within the team, then that means our delivery for our clients and customers are improved. Finally, I'll say also get into a habit of not taking anything at face value. Sometimes data is what it is, and we truly can take that information at face value and move on quickly. But other times we do have to spend time asking ourselves the 5 whys and doing the same type of root cause analysis that we do with our technical work in the intangible elements of a team, aka soft skills. So in closing, I'll say you now understand Scroise, some reasons it may rear its ugly head within your teams, and suggestions on how to overcome the Scroise hurdles when they present themselves. And I'll tell you, they may show themselves at the most inconvenient times. My advice to you is deal with it. Do not let it linger or promise yourself that it's going to eventually go away. It usually doesn't, and just hit it head on and get people around it so that we can move on to becoming the high performing team that we are all destined to be.